Hi guys, it's Stock Curry, and today I've got some really important market news for you. I've also got some stock picks for you, as well as a new stock that I have picked out that I think you guys are going to absolutely love. So let's get into it. Okay, I need to give you guys an update on the market correction that I've been saying is going to happen. Now, today we saw the S&P, the NASDAQ, and the Chicago Board of Exchange Volatility Index all rise together. Now, that is often a precursor to a market correction. Every single time since the beginning of 2018, when the S&P, the NASDAQ, and the VIX all rose together, a 10 to 15% decline in the markets started just a few weeks later. So that is another indicator that around mid-August, a market correction could start. Now, I also need to let you know that cryptocurrencies are in trouble once again. The infrastructure bill that was agreed upon by the Senate over the weekend includes some very concerning text that could be really bad for cryptocurrency. Essentially, it is expanding the definition of a broker to include anybody who handles the transfer of one asset to another person. Now, that could cause miners and other crypto technology firms to be considered brokers, which means they would have to report customer data to the IRS. That's data that they just don't have. And that could cause companies to leave the United States, which could hinder crypto technology development, and it could also hinder crypto investment. In fact, Bitcoin was down 5% today on that news. All right, let's get into today's stock picks. Now, for those of you who are new to this channel, my name is Stock Curry. I used to work as an analyst for some large investment banks, and now I analyze stock picks on YouTube. Every day, I watch hours of YouTube videos, and then I consolidate all of the stock picks from the top YouTubers into a single video. I give you both the cliff notes on their stock picks, as well as my analysis on their stock picks. Now, if anything I talk about today piques your interest, make sure you listen to who I say talked about that stock, and then go watch their video to get the full details and what they said. Now, I also want to let you know that if you're trying to figure out how to invest in the market, maybe you are a new investor and you're just not quite sure what to do, you're not sure how to read the charts, not sure how to find the technicals, not sure when to buy in, not sure when to sell. If you just want to learn how to invest in the markets, then I recommend you go take a trading course. And by far, the best trading course that I have found is something called ZipTraderU. Now, I reached out to ZipTrader and I negotiated a discount of 15% off of ZipTraderU for you. And it turns out that this discount is actually better than what ZipTrader is offering his own viewers right now. So if you want to take advantage of that and get 15% off ZipTraderU, you can check it out. I've got a link for ZipTraderU down in the description of this video. Now, all I ask for putting all of this together for you guys is that you hit that like button, subscribe, and follow the page so that you can get notified when I release my next video. In fact, I'll give you 5 seconds to do that right now. All right, before we get into today's stock picks, I just want to remind everyone that I am not a financial advisor. Nothing I talk about today is a recommendation to buy, sell, or hold. These are just my opinions, which may or may not be accurate. Please do your own research before investing in any asset. Now, if you're wondering what you're looking at right now, this is the Webull desktop app. Webull is the app that I use for my trading, and it is also the app that I use in all of my videos. If you'd like to get 2 free stocks worth up to $2,300, you can sign up for Webull using my link in the description below. When you sign up using my link in the description below and deposit just $100, Webull is going to send you 2 free stocks worth up to $2,300. All right, let's get into today's stock picks. First up is AMD. This is Advanced Micro Devices, better known as AMD. ZipTrader said AMD has hit its price target and said it's time to sell. AMD is overbought on the RSI and is due for a pullback. If AMD is a short-term play for you, then you might want to consider selling. If AMD is a long-term hold, then you might want to just hold it, as AMD should continue to perform well over the next few years. Now, Chris Sain recommended to his viewers to buy an August 6th $110 call option on AMD. That call option has about a $111.70 break-even price. Being a weekly call option, this is a day trade. So let's look beyond the fact that AMD is overbought on the RSI on the daily charts, and let's take a look at the hourly charts to see if this would be a good day trade or not. On the hourly chart, we still have good momentum. We've seen AMC fall in the after hours every day for the past 3 days before running up again in the first hour and a half of regular trading. Now there's a chance that AMD will do the same thing again on Tuesday. If it does, then you can perfect this play by buying the call option right at 10 a.m. Eastern Time and then selling right at 10:50 a.m. Eastern Time. I would not hold this longer than 1 hour. Again, the ideal trade would be to buy the call option right at 10 a.m. Eastern Time and then sell right at 10:50 a.m. Eastern Time. If AMD plays out the same way it has for the past 3 days, then this trade could make you a lot of money. You could potentially double your money on this play. Just be warned that if AMD does not follow the pattern that we have seen over the past 3 days and instead drops in the first hour and a half of trading, then you could easily lose half of your investment during that hour. So look at AMD at 10:20 Eastern Time. If the price of AMD at 10:20 is lower than the price of AMD at 10 o'clock, then I would sell the call option and get out, because that means that AMD is not following the same pattern that it has for the past 3 days. Next up is NIO. This is NIO, and they're a Chinese EV manufacturer. NIO reported delivery numbers on Monday, and they were really good. NIO delivered 7,931 vehicles in July, which was a 124% year-over-year increase. NIO was already rising in anticipation of good delivery numbers, and it was up another 2.6% today after those delivery numbers came out. Technically, the chart is very bullish right now. The MACD is about to form a golden cross, which could send NIO much higher. I bought more NIO on Monday in anticipation of the stock price continuing to rise. Next up is PINS. This is Pinterest. ZipTrader let us know that PINS reported earnings, and earnings were amazing. Revenue was up 125% year over year, earnings were double the estimates, and the average user revenue doubled as well. Despite that, PINS tanked 18% because Pinterest reported a 5% decline in monthly active users in the United States. PINS related the decline in monthly active users to businesses reopening and less people staying at home. Now, ZipTrader thinks this decline should be looked at in the same way that inflation is being looked at. Inflation is showing massive increases because the year-to-year comparison is 2020, when the United States was seeing deflation. And PINS is comparing monthly active users to a year ago when everything was shut down and everybody was at home. Literally every other number in PINS earnings was amazing. It was just one number that people are concerned about. This appears to be a major overreaction and a great buying opportunity. PINS is oversold in the RSI and the candles are now below the 300-day EMA. I would be very comfortable buying PINS here for both a short-term recovery play as well as a long-term hold. Next up is SELB. This is Selecta Biosciences. They're a genomics and pharmaceutical company focused on treating metabolic and autoimmune diseases resulting from genetic disorders. It's well known that pharmaceutical stocks have been performing well over the past few months as pandemic cases rise and inflation soars. What got me interested in SELB specifically is that they are developing a class of drugs called biologics that helps treat metabolic and autoimmune disorders as a result of genetic disorders. Autoimmune disorders are often genetic. They are more common in certain genders, ethnic groups, and families. Common autoimmune disorders include type 1 diabetes, multiple sclerosis, and lupus. SELB developed a technology called mTOR, which is an immune tolerance platform. It is designed to overcome an immune response provoked in otherwise normal tissue, or what is otherwise known as a flare-up in autoimmune patients. Their most promising drug is SEL-212, which is a treatment for refractory gout. This was shown to effectively manage flare-ups and gouty arthritis. It was also well tolerated in phase 2 studies. They are now starting phase 3 studies. If those go well, we can expect SELB to apply for FDA approval sometime next year. Also, if SEL-212 Phase 3 trials go well, then SELB will have the funding to move forward with 7 other drugs using the same mTOR platform to treat other autoimmune diseases. Now, my biggest concern with any pharmaceutical company is cash flow. It takes a lot of time and money to develop a new drug. That usually means multiple stock offerings and downward pressure on a share price until they start producing revenues. SELB is currently burning through about $20 to $35 million in cash each quarter. They are issuing about $13 to $21 million in stock each quarter to offset this burn rate. They had $125 million in cash on hand at the end of Q1, which gives SELB about 1 to 2 years of operating expenses and cash on hand. That should be close to enough for them to finish their Phase 3 trials and apply for FDA approval. That assumes that they continue to do share offerings each quarter. Now, in the past 9 months, despite continuing to do share offerings, SELB's share price has slowly risen. I'm sure this is in part due to their successful Phase 2 results. Now, I'm really looking at SELB for a long-term hold, but even on long-term holds, we want to try to buy in as cheaply as possible to maximize our profits. And technically, there is no better time to buy in than right now. The MACD histogram is rising and is about to form a golden cross. The RSI is also rising. The candles flattened out and stopped dropping. All technical signs point to SELB having bottomed out. It looks like SELB is now ready to rise again. I think SELB would make both a good swing trade as well as a great long-term hold. Next up is SQ. This is Square. Keen and Grace let us know that SQ ran up today after news came out that they purchased Australia's Afterpay for about $29 billion in stock. Afterpay is a buy now, pay later platform. They allow people to purchase a product and then pay it off with 6 equal weekly payments. If the customer does not pay on time, Afterpay makes money on late fees and interest. This will give Square access to foreign markets, which will help them expand. It also opens up new lending avenues to Square. And it also gives Square access to 75,000 stores that use Afterpay. Now, SQ was up over 10% today on that news. It bounced off of a critical resistance level at around $280. Eventually, SQ is going to break out of this rectangular box pattern that it has been stuck in all year. Once SQ breaks out above $283 and closes at a new 52-week high, it will be free to run higher. Now, the average analyst price target is only $293. But in the past few days, the price targets have been coming in much higher. Yesterday, we had 2 price targets reiterated at $365 and $350, and 2 days ago, we had 2 more price targets reiterated at $330 and $380. I think those price targets are reasonable, especially once SQ breaks out above the 52-week high of $283. Next up is TSLA. This is Tesla, and they're an American EV manufacturer. StockMo still thinks TSLA will get to $900 by the end of this year. All EV stocks were up today after Chinese EV companies reported higher than expected deliveries. Next up is TTCF. This is Tattooed Chef. They are a plant-based foods company and a competitor to Beyond Meat. Jeremy with Financial Education talked about the upcoming earnings on TTCF and how the stock might move after earnings. TTCF is expected to report earnings next week. To make a long video short, Jeremy said that Q2 earnings don't really matter. People are looking at TTCF as a long-term hold only. This is not a good swing trading stock. So Jeremy with Financial Education said he does not care about this quarter's earnings, and he's really looking at where TTCF will be in the next 5 to 10 years. He thinks TTCF won't really start taking off until next year. TTCF still needs more analysts covering the stock and more people on Wall Street talking about it. As TTCF grows and becomes more profitable, then that will happen. For now, Jeremy with Financial Education said he's just going to keep buying regardless of whether TTCF goes up, down, or trades sideways. And last we have XPEV. They're a Chinese EV manufacturer. ZipTrader let us know that while NIO reported decent delivery numbers, XPEV reported excellent delivery numbers. XPEV was up over 7% on blowout delivery numbers today. Alright, I hope you enjoyed this video and get a lot out of it. If you're looking for a broker to trade with, you can sign up for Webull using my link in the description below. When you sign up using my link in the description below and deposit just $100, Webull's going to send you 2 free stocks worth up to $2,300. Now, if you're not a US resident or if you're looking to trade OTC penny stocks, then I recommend Interactive Brokers. I have a link for Interactive Brokers down in the description of this video as well. Interactive Brokers provides commission-free trading here in the US. They provide highly discounted trading at $1 Canadian, 4 euros, or 6 Australian dollars, just depending upon where you live. And both Webull and Interactive Brokers give you the full pre-market and after-hours trading from 4 a.m. until 8 p.m. Eastern Time. And I do have material connections with both of those, so when you sign up for either one, not only are you getting a great broker to trade with, you're also helping me to continue to produce these great videos for you. Now finally, remember to hit that like button, subscribe, and follow the page if you haven't already. I hope you have a lot of success trading, and I will see you tomorrow.